All right, let's start off Backlash's special 4th of July coverage. 4th of July, of course, refers to events in Philadelphia about 241 years ago, and you can't get much further from the spirit of Philadelphia in 1776, well, at least geography and those kinds of factors, than Lake Havasu City, Arizona, which is where Gil Vietor is. I mean, it's just probably not a place the Founding Fathers ever really anticipated, not that it had really been discovered yet either at that point. All that, but hey, we like talking to Gil, and Gil, hey, it's open-ended, and I'd like to get your thoughts on the 4th of July. You're a patriotic guy.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. Actually, my favorite fond memories of the 4th of July were way back when I was a kid, about 10 or 11, at the Air Force Base that my parents taught on. They had the Thunderbirds there, and oh man, that was really something impressive. And
where were you? What base at that point?
That was Eielson Air Force Base, and
which is where?
Just outside of Fairbanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you really. Oh, so you never had nighttime fireworks while you were there?
That's right. That is absolutely correct. In fact, it was when we went down to visit the relatives in Minnesota, and they, we watched the fireworks at my grandma's in Roseville, I think is what that town was called, outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it was really something else that, wow, they look a lot better in the dark.
Yeah, right? Who knew?
But, yeah. Eielson, when that thing happened, I got to go on a tour of some spy airplanes because one of my dad's friends was a part of a very elite group that flew into Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Mayfield took me around on some different airplanes, and there's the one that we were on, the RC-135, is he actually ended up dying in that plane in a crash, unfortunately. Ooh. But there were only 2 of them ever made. And it looks like a Boeing 707 with a really big nose, and they would fly over to Russia, and they would time responses and where they came from to, for a potential, incursion into Russia. They did their planning accordingly.
Mm-hmm. So you enjoyed, they must have had great flyovers there.
Yeah. So anyways, so the 4th of July for me was really cool. And then when you have somebody like Obama just a couple days ago who's talking about how we shouldn't be overly patriotic, it's quite a slap in the face to me. Oh, really?
Yeah. So, what do you think about the state of the world? What issues are on your mind? And please try to tie them, if possible, into the July 4th theme of today's show.
Oh, absolutely. Well, right now, with the pride that America has, you see Europe is very angry with us for almost sort of looking at us as an obnoxious parent who's making them, pay their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And for
ironic.
Me, yeah,
on the 4th of July, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So, for me, I think that what's going on with Europe and how they're distancing themselves, how the Macron the other day said some stuff about how, he didn't have any trust in America, if you will, and I was just blown away that, he's making this allegiance with Germany and with Merkel even further. However, Merkel, she threw us a bone when she said, I don't agree with gay marriage, but they can have it. And I wondered, how the German or the left, here in the States even, who are also of the ilk that they think that, 4th of July is obnoxious, people
mm-hmm.
wearing flags or flying them and such.
And they must really hate November 11th.
Yeah, no kidding.
That would be, for people listening, end of World War I.
Yeah, and which is really comical because, I shouldn't say comical, but, there were so many people that died in that war, and, and still, people just trample all over it, and they think, America should shut up, quit being so pushy with the holiday, and it was a lot. My wife's great-grandfather was in World War I.
For the U.S.?
Yep.
Let me ask, Lake Havasu City is pretty conservative. How are festivities observed there? And it's probably a lot of retired people. Is there a lot involving veterans going on there? Or
actually, this is a very dense military retirement community.
That's what I thought.
Numerous of them. And it's very patriotic here. A lot of people. We'll have fireworks, even with the insane heat out on the island, which is really pretty. But it's very patriotic here. It's a real nice, refreshing thing after living in Oregon for a while and same with California.
Did you live in Portland? Because isn't most of Oregon just conservative, patriotic? It's just like in a lot of states, there's one major so-called blue area where you get all the nuts, but unfortunately it's a lot of votes, and it just sort of overshadows the rest of the state.
That you just described Oregon to a T. We lived outside of Eugene, and
Eugene too.
Yeah, Eugene is